Salutations, my fellow dandies! It's me, Jack Dandy, and we're back in a Final Fantasy XIV Stormblood. Salutations to all in chat this evening. We've just... I took last week off because I was... Why did I take last week off? Oh, I had a bit of... I just was exhausted. I think there was a heat wave at the beginning of last week, and it kind of hit me all at once on the Friday, and I slept and slept and slept and just couldn't get any energy, so I just called it. It would have been a very low energy stream, I thought, so I decided to skip. But we have liberated Doma, and we are now back in Eorzea. I am with Rauban and Pippin at the war table, and as you can see, I am dressed for war. I don't remember exactly why I bought this costume, but I did buy this costume. It also has been quite a while since I went into photo mode, because the time of day has changed. But, yeah. Right, let's crack on. You brought your dog with you this time. Ah, what breed is it? Oh, hang on. Do you know, I was doing this in photo mode, and I didn't know whether it was my PlayStation or whether it was photo mode doing it, but it's been... that the camera's been listing. Did I... hang on. See if I can fix this. Okay. Huh. So my controller's being a bit funky. I don't have anything else plugged in, do I? No, can I? So, I'm more used to the Xbox than the PS5, I'm gonna be honest. So I can't remember how to turn off. There we go. I turn it off, and then turn it back on again. There we go. Oh, well, it's still doing it. Oh well. Let's hope it goes away. Good day, Nightcore. Good to see you again. Oh, he's a pit bull. Ah, I love a bull terrier. I've got a Staffordshire bull terrier myself. Well, my parents do, but I consider him my dog. But yeah, bull terrier. Oh, I love all bull terrier breeds. They're delightful. They get a bad rep, but they're delightful dogs. Xbox 5, PlayStation Series X. Look, I do the majority of my gaming on my Xbox, and so when I switch to the PS5 for the occasional game, it's an entirely different UI, and it's so hard to. I really wish everything was just in the same place and everything had the same button inputs, just so you could do everything. But it's mostly in the same place. They are such good boys. Like I said, bull terriers get a bad rep, but they're good dogs. Right. Alright, Pippin. I forget what I'm doing. Hang on. You, Rauban, and your allies have much to discuss. And from the picture, it looks like this is going to be quite a action-packed mission. There you are. And there is Commander Camp, I see. I know you're eager to speak of our next move, but we would first hear more of your last. Tell us of your deeds in Doma. Is it just because I'm in this tent that the camera's being weird? It's like banging against the wall. I think this is going to be a voiced cutscene, which is good.
Pray, join me in welcoming our Scion allies, but recently returned from their mission to the Far East. We have been most eager to hear a first-hand account of your time there, eventful as we understand it was.
I always like to have a bit of time to warm up my voice before I start doing silly voices. I don't get to hear
Very
Pippin's
well.
voice actor.
Allow me.
Oh, is Pippin's voice actor the same actor as Shulk, is it? Ha. Now you say, the thing is, he's probably the most...
Such victories are rarely won without sacrifice.
but the prize is worth the price. Doma, free after all these years.
Yeah, I did it. Pippin always is like the most English character in all of the characters so far, to the point where I always think of Pip from South Park. Initially because I heard his name, and then when I started talking, he's like so English. But yeah, he is Shulk, isn't he? Now that you point it out, God, I haven't played Xenoblade in a long time.
Bloody hells. Flooding their own castle for a better chance at victory. We could learn a thing or two from that lad.
Our agents report a flurry of communications between Garlemald and Alamigo in recent days. 'Tis plain they are in the midst of deliberating their response to the Doman uprising.
So, switch my glasses over to my my hardcore gaming glasses. Which is to say, my glasses that don't have rims on them, so that they are easier to pick up on the motion capture. Adam Howden, is that his name? Is it? He's hardcore English. He is. He's like aggressively English. I love the voice actor for
Every Imperial unit in occupied territory will be on the lookout for civil unrest. The fear of leaving critical locations undefended will make commanders think twice about committing their forces, giving us a chance to seize the initiative.
His name Ryan, the big guy, who was like your second in command in Xenoblade. Yeah.
We have a chance, aye. Mayhap the last one we're ever going to get. While we've done our best to rebuild the resistance, the Imperials have only increased their efforts to root out sympathizers.
Okay, you're aggressively American. I'll have to take your word for that.
If we keep on playing for smaller prizes, it's only a matter of time before they crush us again. And that we won't come back from.
Oh, it is Rain, is it? I really need to play Xenoblade Remastered at some point. I played the original, but that's like 10 years ago. And it's so nice.
Swift advance seems best for all concerned. Not least poor Mistress Kryl.
Yeah, and now that you've mentioned that he's Shulk's voice actor, I can't. And all I can hear him say is, "We've got to get the Monado."
Then let us waste no more time. The campaign for Alamigan liberation begins now.
Yeah. I mean, it began a while ago, Ralban. I gotta be honest.
Take the bridge, and the whole of the fringes will be ours. From there, we can push east towards the peaks.
What you mean is, now that the Warrior of Light is back, we can actually, properly make some progress as opposed to just standing around this table.
I name this operation Rulga's Beacon. For as Rulga once sent his star to guide our ancestors to these lands, so too shall it see us home.
I still don't trust that guy, by the way, on the far left, with the X on his face. He's just sort of shown up out of nowhere, and he's too remarkable to just be a background character. So I don't trust him. I don't trust him. Oh, okay. So I guess that's so you can start with all of the costumes. Neat. The success of this operation is paramount. So long as the Empire holds Castellium Velodnia, the main host cannot advance. Xenos knows this, which is why he has ordered Fordola and her men to see to the bridge's defense. We're gonna kick Fordola's ass. So we'll get to fight the Skulls again. The Butcher is not to be underestimated. She is decisive, ruthless, and feared by foes and friends alike. But we have a plan to defeat her. First, we send an alliance force down the main roads, signaling our intention to mount an all-out assault. The garrison will muster their forces and prepare for a protracted battle. However, They will soon find that we are ill-prepared for their counterattack. Our men will begin to break ranks and flee. I see. Show them your backs and give them a target too tempting not to pursue. Aye, Fordola is too aggressive not to press the advantage. She will order her men to give chase. We lure them as far as East End, where the commanders will rally their forces and attempt to hold their ground. If all goes to plan, we should be able to keep the greater part of their garrison occupied. And once they're in the East End, there's not a single taxi that will go north of the river at this time of night, leaving us to tackle the bridge's remaining defenders. Very clever, I'm sure, but what are we to do if the Imperials smell a rat and return before we've taken the place? I don't need you to take Volodnia, Commander Kemp. All I need is for you to fly your flag from its tower. What am I doing? Who am I killing? You mean to trick them into believing that the bridge has fallen? Aye, we convince them that Volodnia is lost, hit them hard with our reinforcements, and watch them go running for the hills. Then, when the dust has settled, we regroup at the Castellium. What say you? It's a bold plan, but a good one. We'll do it. What am I doing? Who am I in... In that case, we should support both the Resistance and the Allied forces. Jack, Lise, Ironvold, I ask that you accompany Commander Kemp. Alice and I will remain with the Flame General. We will return to Raga's Reach and make our preparations. As soon as they're complete, we will join you in the field. Godspeed. Which one? One of the faster ones, I guess. There's like 12. I don't know which of the 12 is the fastest one. Oh, hey, we're over here. Oh, that's convenient. They don't normally teleport you. They normally make you walk over. Oh, we're back with one of the snake ladies. Yeah, this is my favourite area. I haven't done any of the Beast Tribe quests. Or whatever they're called now. But knowing that I can get a snake lady maidservant in my house if I do the snake lady quests, I might have to go out of my way after finishing Stormblood for the first time. I do need to do most of them all eventually anyway, because I need to get the Triple Triad cards. But a snake lady maid is slightly higher on my priority list than Triple Triad cards. Slightly. Because I do like Triple Triad. In case you haven't noticed, the flag flying above Volodnia is bloody massive. It'll take a dozen men to change it, and far too long besides. But there's no need for all that, right, Minago? Not as long as I have my griffin and a satchel of glamour prisms, no. Arnevold, you're in charge of the runners between us and the Alliance. No link pearls. Lise, I want you to look in on the squadrons. Make sure they've got everything they need. Everybody clear? I can't do multiple voices. All forces to depart for Castellum Corvi when ready. That will be all. Jack, stay with me a moment if you would. I get lonely. There's a few men I'd like you to look in on personally. Each of them has lost people, and I can tell that it weighs on their hearts. There have been a lot of new faces since you were last here, so it's best if I just tell you where to look. One's an officer you'll find in the barber, another's an older fellow who likes to pass time on the shore of Starfall. The last is a fiery young lad from Little Alamigo, who I'm told trains by himself by the river to the fringes. You'll know when you see them. Come and find me when you've finished. They've got giant quest markers above their head. Big ostentatious, like, just like really pointy golden things. I'm sure you're used to seeing them by now. Look for those, and you'll know exactly where to find them. This is how real life would be so much easier if you had quest markers. Like you're going out to the shops and you need to pick up items. And you just look up in the air for these type of markers above the shelves, and you're like, ah, there are the biscuits. I see. If isn't the lad who helped me find the ward I misplaced. Yes, I vaguely remember doing that, like 20 hours ago. Oh, but there I go on again, treating you as an equal. Wasn't until after you'd gone that one of the comrades pulled me aside and told me it was only the bleeding hero of yours who'd taken time out of his busy day to help me. What is done is done. But know that I'll fight very ounce of my strength in this coming battle, and the next, and the next. Mayhap that serves to repay the favour. Fare thee well. It's like, I'll fight with all my strength to repair the favour. I'm like, I kind of vaguely barely remember doing the thing you just said. Like, I'm a very busy man. But also, I do the most trivial chores all the time. People are constantly asking me to do all sorts of bullshit. Jack, am I right? I doubt you remember me, but I'll never forget you. Saved my life in Little Alamigo, you did. Yeah, I don't. Wilred and the rest of us got into our heads that if we had enough crystals, we could summon Ralgar and like the Amaljas summoned their god. Thankfully, you put a stop to it. Ever hear about what happened to Wilred? During the Braves when they came calling, and he turned up dead one day. Never found out how or why, but I reckon it doesn't matter. Dead's dead after all. But at least he died doing what he thought was right. And maybe that's the best folks like us can hope for, eh? Not that I'm in any hurry, mind. Yeah, I remember Wilred. What a pointless character. I think it is still tilting up slightly. I don't know why. I do have a spare controller somewhere, but I'm going to be annoyed that I've had this controller less than a year if it started to lean slightly. I've not had much luck with controllers recently. I still have to pry open my Xbox controller so I can spray it with some rubbing alcohol, which is apparently the way to fix it. Wait, I know you, Captain Dandy of the Maelstrom. It is an honour to meet you. I was living hand to mouth in Uldar, but decided to enlist in the flames after I heard tales of your daring do. And now, as fate would have it, I've been sent here to join in the fight for my homeland's liberation. But this is no time to talk. I've got to prepare for the operation. Take care, Captain. We'll give those Imperial Horsens what for. Why did I need to speak to these people? They seem fine. Like, 2 of them just wanted to thank me. Which, you know, is nice, don't get me wrong. But they could have, like, I don't know, sent me a letter. We have, like, a Moogle delivery service. Just leave me a letter. I never get any fan mail. That's a big cat man. Oh, and he's got a little bird on his... Oh, no, it's not a bird. He's got the succubus on his shoulder. Oh. I like the cat men. Not enough to remember what they're called, but I like them. You've had a word with the men I mentioned then. As I'm sure you've noticed, they have another thing in common aside from tragedy. You've touched each of their lives in one way or another. But that's not the reason I wanted you to speak to them. A man who's lived in Gir Albania's entire life, who bore witness to the realities of the occupation for 20 unbroken years. A man who fled Alamigo in search of a new life, who swore to serve another nation only to for its fate to conspire to send him back here. A youth born on foreign soil and never knew his parents' homeland, yet nevertheless felt kinship with our cause. 3 men, 3 stories, 3 reasons, yet all belong to the Resistance. In growing larger, we've grown more diverse, and while there is still good in that, there's also the potential for strife and discord. It would take a special sort to lead such men to Alamigo, don't you think? Are you talking about me or you? Someone like Lise. Because, I mean, we're building to her being the leader, so let's just push it. Leader of the Resistance, eh? I don't think I have enough don't have enough titles already. Well, as much as I'd love to go for this line, we'll go for the Lise line. I see we're of one mind. She'll have to make the decision for herself, of course. You've travelled with her, been by her side when she's had to make hard choices. You've seen her at her worst and her best. If you think she's got it in her, then she does. Just truthfully, I don't want to do it. Look after her, Jack. She's our future, and my hope. Plus, I've already seen her costume in the FF14 store, so again, I kind of know what's coming. I trust I didn't say that this conversation is just between you and me. Yeah. Good, lad. Right, then. We'd best head to Castellium Corve, or what remains of it, rather. Okay. Oh, can I? Oh, no, I can't summon Augustus here. But I can't get my mount, which is weird. Let's go! Oh. Let's go! Can I teleport to Castellium Corvi? No. Oh. That's a cool mount. It's got a little tank. I think I might have... No, wait. Did I see that? No. Oh, I kind of want to know how to get that tank now. But I know it's going to be some irritating process. I really want to get the shark mount at some point as well, but I can't be bothered to go and get like a perfect fishing score. And I know that that tank is going to be like, oh yeah, you just need to do this raid 170 times to get these crystals, which you then spend to get the tank. And it's like, oh yeah, you just need to hunt 170 creatures across 170 weeks so you can get these hunter's marks to buy it. And it's like, oh, why are all the cool things locked behind really long jobs? There's a really nice coat that I want that's locked behind doing the hunter mark quest. I'm too lazy to do them. Can't I should just be able to buy things. I don't want to do that either, to be honest. I really want to... they got an event on at the moment. I can't remember what it's called, but it's the event that I got my jacket on a while back. And they've got a gorilla mount, and it runs around and it holds you in its hand, and you run around with the gorilla. It's a big gorilla, and I want it, and it's 50 marks. But I don't know. I don't have time to come on and play outside of streaming. And it's like, oh, I kind of really want it, but I don't have time. Oh, we got an instance. Neat. Is it an instance or is it a dungeon? Well, either way, the other units will launch their own separate attacks. Remember that we'll need to hold out until Monago sees to the flag. Got your gear in order? Any moment now. Yeah. Nice. Oh. We obviously... I got here really early, as it turns out.
It's begun then.
Good. It's the waiting that drives me mad. Standing around, knowing what's to come. I'll never get used to it.
Calm down, Nargo. You're making her nervous. We've come this far, haven't we? We just need to make it the rest of the way.
Right.
I don't trust you. Just the words like, you're
Looks like
suspicious.
the bridge is ours for the taking. Now remember, Monago, I want you to make for the tower as soon as you see an opening and get that flag flying.
I won't let you down, sir.
Come then. Rolga's star shall burn bright this day.
Maybe we should have done this mission at night, so we could see the star. I know it's a metaphorical star, but... I'm just saying. Ignore me. I'm just talking out loud. Okay. Let's try and keep everyone alive. Oh, we got a snake lady with us as well. I saw she was in the cutscene, but she's actually with us. Come on, Ananta, battle maid. I'll keep you alive, I promise.
Here it comes!
don't know what it is. It's just like every so often the camera will just like shift down slightly. And it must just be... I can't think of what it would be other than my controller. Irritating if that's the case. Alright, that's pretty easy. I feel like we've got too many strong... We've got me and Lise and Conrad. And I don't trust Arenvald, but he's here too. Like, I feel like this is too many, like, strong people. I mean, I could do this on my own. Even with my level adjusted. Although I say that. And then I end up not paying attention and getting killed. So, no, maybe I do need some help to take focus. As I said, I was paying attention to my... I was trying to do my... No, I don't need to do it in easy... I mean, maybe I do need to do it in easy mode, but... exactly, like, literally, as soon as I said I could do this on my own, I got killed because I wasn't paying attention to my health there. What happened is I killed a guy mid-combo, and then was trying to lock onto the other guy, and then just, yeah, didn't pay any attention to my health. Okay. No, it's if anything, can we get like a couple more people to help us on this one? I apparently am not to be trusted. No, it's...
Here it comes.
There we go. I thought I'll jump in, do my sword attacks, look all flashy and kill these robots. I'm so used to my like level 70 armor carrying me even though I'm level adjusted. But now we're doing level 69 missions. Level 70 isn't really... doesn't really sort of pull me up that far anymore. I need to go and see about the level 70 poetic clothes. Because I think I've got enough poetics to get some. I haven't gone on my way to get any, but over the course of the DLC, I've managed to accrue quite a few poetics, so I probably could buy some. Maybe I'll check at a merchant next time I'm able. Top myself up a little bit. There we go. Much better. Went in a little softer, a little more softly, and lived to tell the tale. Slightly less bombastic, but I'm not dead, which I suppose is the important thing. Oh, there are artillery cannons. That's what's shooting us. If I'd known those were there, I would have focused on them. I thought it was the robots. Trixie. Distract me with the robots and shoot me with boring artillery cannons. Think you're clever with all your little tricks. Think again. None of you are leaving here alive. Ah, it's Fordola. Rem Lupus. Nice they gave her her full name. I mean, she's not going to die here, surely. Okay, I guess that ran out. Oh, that was a big hit. I'd be in trouble if I couldn't heal. Keeping an eye on my health. There we go, backed up to full. Let's do that. Another bout of swordicuffs. There we go. That was, I mean, the bulk of her life off. And I mean, I don't know what she's doing with... I mean, yeah, it's quite scary. You've set fire to the parts of the map that neither of us are in.
Meet my new friend.
Do these tail me, or...? Like, I'm not entirely sure how these work, but...
I'll cut you to pieces.
Okay, so as long as I'm not in front of them, then that's fine. It's pretty easy, honestly. Man, at least you had trouble with this one. Ah. I did it. Okay. I'll be honest, her moves weren't... Like, I don't really understand a lot of her moves. She set fire to a lot of the ground that I wasn't occupying. Summoning some guys who just kind of stood there. And occasionally did an AoE attack that I could easily dodge. I feel like she would have been better if she just tried to hit me with her sword.
No more running. No more hiding. Let's finish this.
Oh, that's the signal. Time to run and hide.
The flag.
We've glamoured your flag. Even though we haven't technically taken the bridge, that's still really embarrassing for you.
The bridge is ours! Al amigo! Al amigo! Al amigo! Yeah!
Kemp's like, oh, I thought if I started chanting Al Amigo, everyone else would join in. Oh, that's embarrassing.
Stand your ground! It's not over yet!
But the flag! They changed the flag!
Damn it!
Let them go, Lise. We've done what we came here to do. That's enough for now.
Guys, you got to try a bit harder. Yeah! Oh, look at him, he's got his dog hat on. That's how you know he means business.
Villadina is fallen? Impossible.
I said stand your ground and left. She changed her mind very quickly. She was like, stand your ground! Oh, no, that was embarrassing. No one else is doing it. Okay, I'm going to run away too. I was really expecting after she threw the smoke bomb down for the smoke to be clear and you just to see her running away. Because it's like, it's a straight bridge. Why did you throw a smoke bomb down? There's only one place you can go.
We have them on the run! Forward! No mercy!
I also realised Rauban's mask is a bull mask, which of course it is, because his whole motif is bull. It's not a dog mask. It looked like an Anubis thing in the distance. I forgot that bulls. His whole thing is about bulls. Same point, though. I thought the horns were just like big ears.
Commander, the 4th cohort has been routed. We'll be at the mercy of the enemy's reinforcements if we don't fall back now.
Idiot! We have the stronger force by far. Don't be taken in by their tricks. Or would you rather tell Xenos you lost to this rabble?
No!
Sorry.
Traitors who drank of muddied waters.
I didn't mean to double tap there, but that's a lot funny. The guy just like, no! I refuse to elaborate.
School's with me! The day is theirs, and so is this bastard bridge.
The horns are a sign that
Someone bring a
Rauban...
snake.
The horns are a sign that Rauban's in heat. Well, Nanamo better watch out then.
I suppose. It's our first victory, isn't it? And that has to be worth something.
I still don't quite understand how this plan works, because like the whole plan is how we've glamoured the flag, to make them think that we've taken the bridge. But as soon as they retreat and then go, oh, they haven't actually taken the bridge, turn around, let's go and kill them all. But apparently, I mean, sure, it worked, whatever. Purple carrot juice, let's drink some of that. Get that sweet 3% XP buff. It's a shame Vidola got away, but we did what we came here to do. I have to remind myself it's just the first step, but it's a big one. We're going to take it back, all of it. One ilm at a time if we have to. Ooh, an Azurite Ring of Casting. Pretty sure it's worse than what I've got. And it's blue, so I don't want it, so I'll just take the materia. Da-da-da-da-da. Did you see that, Abba Oli? We did it. I don't trust you, Arenvold. I don't know who this Abba Oli person, whatever it is, name that you're talking about, but I don't trust you. There's still a chance that some Imperials are holed up inside the Castellum. We'll need to search it top to bottom to be sure it's safe. In the meantime, I want you to rendezvous with the main host. Keep your weapons at the ready. There's a chance you might come face to face with soldiers on the run en route. On second thought, it might be prudent for you to have a preemptive sweep of the region for soldiers that have gone to ground. We shouldn't afford them any time to regroup and launch a counterattack. When you've judged your work to be done, report to General Alden in Bittermill. Alright. Can I... Oh, I don't get to cross the bridge yet. I really want to unlock flying in this area. Because it's a really big area and it's really hard to get around because there's a big chasm in the middle of the map. Also, mount speed increase. Because again, it's quite a big area and I'm waddling about on my chocobo. Oh, imagine if I had my gorilla. Let's get Augustus in. My little bird friend. One day we'll get you to level 10. One day. Okay, and now we have to walk all the way over here for the next one. I think I've done... I'll check once my sprint runs out. I think I've done... Yeah. 2 of the 3 of the... Yeah, I got 3 more quests to do, and 2 more Aetherite. Not Aetherite. That's the teleporting ones. 2 more wind thingies. Currents. I sense a desperate presence. It's like, hey, look, it's bad enough you come over here to kill me. Don't call me desperate as well. There we go. I did it. And I'll just teleport back to Bittermill, because I'm lazy. Oh, wait, no, I can't teleport to Bittermill. Because I don't have a teleport there. But it's only over here, so it's fine. It's been a while since I've been on this map. I forgot where Bitter. I thought Bittermill was the place we started in, but that's Castrum Orleans, or whatever it's called. Hey, Ralban. See, you're still wearing your hat. Well met. All's well at the bridge. Good, good. The fight has died down here too, as you can see. Pippin left but a moment ago with a contingent of troops to occupy Volodya. And if when... I'm going to stick with Volodya. If and when the Imperials return, they'll find us dug in behind their own walls. I could not have hoped for a better outcome, General. Splendidly done. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. It will take more than one Castellian to turn the tide. My men and I will deal with the remaining enemy forces. Scions, I bid you return to Commander Kemp and his men. I'm curious about that Lalafell sitting on the floor over there. I'm going to go talk to him. Delight not over much in victory, not when there are battles left to fight. Our work here is finished. Our resistance allies are waiting. And now I have to go back over to the bridge. But first... Where's... Oh, they all disappeared. Oh, okay. There was a Lalafell sitting on the floor. And I want to know what his deal was, but he packed up and went off with Ralban, I guess. Now we'll never know. If only I'd noticed him before speaking with Ralban, I might have gotten a line of dialogue out of him, explaining his plight, but well, now, yeah, I mean, it probably wasn't anything. He was probably just polishing his helmet. Let's go with that. He was sitting down and polishing his helmet. I'm happy with that as an explanation. Oh, I also need to go, as well as the gorilla, thinking about it, I just look at my sparrow. There's also a hedgehog. I have to get that. Apparently, the hedgehog's quite hard to get otherwise. Back so soon? I suppose the general and his men had matters well in hand. The Vice Marshal and his men showed up not long after you left. If the gods are good, there'll be no one left to fight. Ooh. Oh, none of these are for me. But the next quest they should be then. I gotta be honest, all the gear they've given me in all of the Shadow, all of the Stormblood quests have been really unflattering and just not very nice to look at. So, I was expecting like lots of like Japanese style clothes, and it's mostly been like big robes and like wizard cloaks and stuff, and it's been kind of dull. I know you're not one for waiting, but if you'll bear with us. Commander Kemp, Marshal Terrapin reports that their sweep of the Castellium's interior has been completed. So it's finally over, eh? Pray extend my deepest thanks. It's official then, the Castellium Volodya is well and truly ours. Perhaps this calls for... wait, where's Monago? She took her bird and flew off towards the Peering Stones, village of the M tribe, where she was born. I know that the Imperials who fled Volodya had a mind to give them trouble on their way back east, but she was nevertheless worried, so I gave her leave to go and see that her people were safe. Although I pray you are right, it would be best if Monago were not alone if she should encounter the enemy. Agreed. Let's all go to the Peering Stones and make sure that everything is all right. If that's your wish, then I have no objection. Just let the guard know when you wish to cross. Ah, we're finally going across the bridge. It's exciting. I think we came to this bridge like almost immediately at the beginning of Stormblood, and then we just left for 20 hours, and now we've come back to cross it. Oh, Green Scion, do you wish to pass? I do. . That was quick. Well, you can't complain. Rising fortunes, rising spirits. Oh. It hasn't actually crossed the bridge. They just put me on the other side of the door. Why don't I just make it so that the door opens? Oh, I suppose actually that would have the problem of if you were standing there before you'd done that quest. And... you say you were for the Peering Stones. In that case, mayhap Marshal Terrapin and I should join you. We spied a suspicious pair earlier, a Hur and a Lalafal. By the looks of them, but they were fled when they realized they'd been spotted. If they're Imperials, then we can't have them stirring up trouble. I don't trust you, Arenvold. I don't trust you. Hey, Pippin. We will soon start sending scouts east to survey the land in preparation for our advance. We do not anticipate much resistance at this time, but should we encounter any Imperial forces, we shall deal with them quickly and severely. Alright, that was... I don't normally talk to the NPCs if they're not quest related, and I'm beginning to see why. I only really wanted to talk to Arenvald because I was like, you're suspicious. Say something suspicious so that I can suspect you more. And he's keeping his chest... If he is like a traitor or something, he's keeping his cards close to his chest. I'll say that much. He's certainly not being, like, outwardly suspicious, which just makes me more suspicious of him. Like, if there was a character who was sort of just openly suspicious, and I've said the word suspicious a lot now, but if there was a character who was just openly untrustworthy, there we go, I've synonymized it now, I would trust them way more, because I'm like, well, they're not going to just openly be, you know, trustless like that. So they must be fine. A path to the village is through a tunnel just east of here. Follow me. I would have turned into a ghost. No, it's fine. I'll figure it out. Path east of here. Hey, I get an Etherite. Doodad at least, so that's good. Is this a tunnel? This just looks like a path. Surely to be a tunnel, it needs to have a roof. Did you guys get bored halfway? Not just Seekers of the Sun, but a Nanta. Perhaps there is a settlement nearby. I guess they just got bored. So this is the M tribe from Managa. I'm guessing there must be... I mean, maybe not. But it suggests that there are similar tribes for the other characters who have apostrophes at the start of the name, like Y'shtola. So surely there's like a Y tribe somewhere. I guess we'll find out. Oh, well, what do you think? Hard to tell from down below. The whole village is up here, isn't it?
Ah, you've come. Welcome, friends, to my village. My home.
I've come here to set up some death flags. Because I'm exactly the type of character who will die over the next few missions.
How fare your people?
Like, you've kind of got to know me, but I'm not that important to the plot. And I'm not so integral that if I die, it's going to be, you know, it's going to be that big a blow. I'm basically on the harsher font tier. That's exactly where Monago is at the moment.
Good, all things considered. Better than the Ananta at any rate. They've sent an emissary. I'll take you to her.
Ah, we're going to do missions for Snake Ladies. Excellent. Finally, some content I can get into.
We're here to help. Will you tell us what happened?
Aye. It began with a quarrel between the Imperials and the Kaliana. The Kaliana are another Ananta tribe. The strongest and the most influential. Unlike the Vera, they want no part of our troubles. They swore fealty to the Empire, and were content to remain within their borders.
It's convenient how so many beast tribes are split into two factions, one of which is hostile and one of which isn't. So that you can do missions for one, while also still being able to kill some of them.
Just so. The Kaliana forsook their pride in the fight and yielded to Garlemald long ago. But then a new commander was sent to hold the Black Bridge. She demanded the Kaliana surrender a hostage, this butcher.
Fordola. It doesn't make sense, though. The Vera are the ones working with the Resistance. Why would she threaten the Kaliana?
Because she is ignorant like all Imperials. She knows not the difference between Kaliana and Vera, nor does she care to learn.
One big snake lady is the same as any other big snake lady.
I see. All Fordola knew for sure was that the Resistance would come from the west. She reasoned, therefore, that if the Ananta on the east bank turned their coats, she would be trapped. I take it the Kaliana had no choice but to oblige her.
No, they did not. The Imperials left with the Kaliana broodmother's own daughter, Anamika. Long days and nights she looked out on the Black Bridge weeping for her child. Until you came.
Oh.
The broodmother knew at once which way the winds would blow. She and her warriors met with the fleeing Imperials in the road and demanded that her daughter be returned.
I mean, it sounds like the problem's in hand, then. What do you need from me?
Bad idea. Fordola's not the kind to take threats lying down.
You know her well. The butcher turned her blade to Anamika and bade the Kaliana move aside. But the broodmother would not yield.
I know where this is going.
Fordola got her ass beat again. Come on. I already kicked her ass once. She should have been weakened. Oh.
The Kaliana surrounded the Imperials, one of whom, whether out of fear or stupidity, cut the child down. There was naught that could be done.
What madness.
You've gone too far, Imperials.
The true madness was yet to come.
It's bad enough
For
you've,
in her despair, the Kaliana broodmother cried out for her daughter to be restored to life. She beseeched Sri Lakshmi's intercession.
Oh, she used a phoenix down. I got you. But no, you've gone too far, Garlemald. It's one thing to invade and take over Alamigo. Now you've killed one of my snake ladies.
She summoned a primal then and there?
That she did, if only for an instant. Bereft of courage and honor, the broodmother sought solace in her faith. The Imperials fled in terror at the sight of the goddess, abandoning these lands to the Ananta.
I mean, that sounds like a win. But you're going to make me go and fight the snake lady, aren't you?
Now the Kaliana bid us make pilgrimage to pay proper respects. Yet though we Vera revere Sri Lakshmi as the holiest of the holy, we will not prostrate ourselves before her.
And so you turn to us?
Aye. All who have fought with the Resistance have heard tell of the warrior, the Icon Slayer.
Yeah, that's me. Present.
I believe we have heard enough.
Inconvenient though the timing may be, if a primal has indeed been summoned, we can scarce afford to ignore it. We must needs discuss how best to resolve this situation.
I'm gonna go kill it. That's the way to solve this problem. I'm gonna use my sword and my magic and 3 friends, traditionally, and we're going to make this thing die. It's, That's how these things go. I just, you know, that's the formula. No, don't talk to Alice. No, don't talk to Alice again. Alpha, no. Oh, I can see the Surge Gambison of casting. Please look cool. That one's not bad. If I dye that in red, that could be, you know. Yeah, that's okay. That could look quite cool in red. Okay, okay. I'll do it. I'll do the mission. Ahem. At the risk of sounding hopelessly naive, there may yet be a way to avoid violent confrontation. In the past, I fear I have been rather too willing to accept that we have no other recourse than to risk our lives, or rather your life, to address these threats. Yet the primals we have faced thus far have demonstrated a variety of temperaments and objectives. Ravana may delight in battle, but Ramu would sooner keep to the forest with his children. Ere we decide to challenge Sri Lakshmi, I'm trying to remember how they pronounced it in the cutscene a second ago, the big snake, it would seem wise to learn more of her nature from those who summoned her into this world. If that is your will, then so be it. To the north you will find our village. Sarisha shall unfold all. We shall leave at once, Manago. Manago, can you inform our comrades at the bridge of what happened? Of course. Be safe, my friends. Sorry, Manago, my chocobo is on you. Let's get rid of you. There you go. Anyone here want to play Triple Triad before I leave? Oh, you've got an Aetherite quest, but I think I still need a couple more. So yeah, I'll come back and do your quest later, but northwest. Hang on. That way. Ow. No one attack me right now. I have shattered my ankles for the sake of speed. Oh, and I've joined a fate. It's fine. Just ignore me, giant rhino thing. I'm not here to fight you. Salutations, Stratus. Good to see you. I hope you are well and dandy. I should say fine and dandy, I guess. Lean into the cliche, you know? West. Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, look at this. They've got like big snake ladies on the gates. Climb. All right, hang on. I can get up there. Haha. $477. Okay, we'll get that one later. Ladies. They are all ladies as well, aren't they? Where are the snake men? Or maybe they breed asexually. Sarisha, I've come to learn about your reproductive cycle. I mean, I've come to help you fight about your primal problem. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. We do not often receive guests. What is the purpose of your visits? Greetings and well met. We are the Signs of the Seventh Dawn, and we come seeking Sarisha of the Vera. You are she, are you not? You have petitioned for us to aid and succor, and we intend to provide them. But we would first learn more of Sri Lakshmi, that we might better understand the nature of the threat she poses to you. Snake Lady Village, exactly. This is a good location. I feel like I'm going to enjoy today's episode. A simple request, and one which I shall gladly oblige. In the beginning, Sri Lakshmi, we were created in her image, daughters blessed with her beauty. Her breath became ours, her serenity our solace. There is naught she would not give. 'Twas the Kalyanya. God damn it, there was a cutscene, they said this name over and over again, and I've forgotten it. Kalyana. 'Twas the Kalyana's broodmother desire to bring about her daughter's resurrection, which first called forth Sri Lakshmi from the ether. That being the case, I rather doubt the goddess will be spoiling for a fight. That would depend. The primal's motives will have been coloured by the summoner's state of mind, namely that of a grieving mother who had just borne witness to her daughter's murder. Though she apparently craved a miracle, she may also have harboured thoughts of vengeance. Moreover, the Kalyana's concept of Sri Lakshmi may differ from that of the Vera. This is true. The Vera and the Kalyana do indeed regard the Lady of Bliss in different ways. To the Vera, Sri Lakshmi embodies freedom. She would not suffer her daughters to be bound to another's will. And so we stand with the resistance against the Empire and give our lives for the cause. I feel like you need to elongate all of the S's or none at all, Sarisha. To the Kalyana, however, she embodies transcendental beauty, which they strive to create through their craft. To shape crystal is less art and more ritual, a sacred duty wherein each tribute is imbued with a fragment of the soul. The Imperials do not interfere with this holy work, and so the Kalyana were content to turn inward and ignore our plight. Until reality asserted itself when they summoned a primal, a fever dream to soothe their aching hearts. But surely they can see it won't do any good. The Imperials will still rule these lands. Nothing will change. The Ananta will. The Kalyana bade the Vera make pilgrimage to pay proper respects, remember? Those who don't wish to partake of their primal's bliss will be made to do so. Not while we're around, they won't. And by we, I mean Jack, the Warrior of Light, because he's the only one who doesn't get affected by the primal. Though our beliefs are not the same, we are still kin to the Kalyana. Will you help them to see reason? Know that I'll kill your god if I have to. Maybe even if I don't. I love the dialogue choices in Stormblood have stepped up a notch. Like, they used to be kind of mundane. Like, it was basically a choice between, I'll do it, or, yes, you can leave it to me. And now it's, I'll do it, and I will kill all of you and laugh at you while I do it. It's like how in Mass Effect 3, the renegade options all just became psychopathic. After they went from being like, I'm a renegade, I do things my own way, to, I will fucking kill you and eat your eyes if you do not listen to what I say. I think that was actually a line. I think that was actually a direct quote from Mass Effect 3. It's been a while. It's been a while since I played it. So, which tribe sees the goddess of bliss as a pimp asking for a friend? Shadowbringers has even better choices, and Endwalker is even better. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad that they got... Like I said, it's sort of... They were a bit kind of... Yeah, whatever, originally. So I'm glad that there's a bit more personality behind them. I really want to do this one, but it's not really in character, so let's go. You can count on us. I'm supposed to be a hero in this one. Not a psychopathic... I mean, don't get me wrong. I pretend I play a psychopathic murder hero, but the Warrior of Light in character is supposed to be like a good guy, I guess. Then we shall, for you may be powerless to stop them. I mean, not that I mean, I know the dialogue doesn't actually affect anything, but still. If we do not act quickly, more lives will be lost, more families torn apart, more children made to suffer. Then it's settled. We're going to find that primal and put an end to this. My sister, Vajra, will guide you to the Jiran Cut, and I shall pray for your success. I will say, it is weird because the Ananta, like, it is clearly the same model just over and over again. Like, at least, I mean, at least with some of the races, they do, like, do some slight variations. But yeah, the Ananta is just the exact same snake over and over. It's fine, though, because they're all lovely. You've made it out just so you can take every dumb choice. It is tempting. It is tempting. I know there's a really good choice in Endwalker that I saw people tweeting. I didn't click on the video because I don't want to spoil it. But there's something that you can say to Y'shtola to make her upset in Endwalker. And it's like, I kind of want to do that. Just to see what she does when she's upset. Well met, scions. I am Vajra, she who shines bright and unbroken. I stand ready. We leave upon your command. Cool. You know, give me my Gambison. And then we shall go and fight the Lady of Bliss, who, I'm going to be honest, from that picture, does not look very snake-like. She's looking decidedly unsnaky. You are ready. You look ready. Dejan Kat, there you will find the Kalyana's crystals and Sri Lakshmi. Follow me. Snake, 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 snake. Wait, hang on. Is that your pixie again? I'm wise to your game now. There you are! I see you! Hide behind the rock! I know your game now. Hi. Alright, let's I've lost my bearings now that I've chased a Radar rock. There's more than just one of those. And Walker has like 6 choices that... Damn it. Sorry, I interrupted you. Where do I need to go? Oh, it's north. Is there a way out of the village? Yes. I caught you while you were typing. Well, it's because I came out of the cutscene and I saw the pixie, and like I said, I've grown. This place is so difficult to navigate. I've grown wise to your shenanigans. Now, I know to actually recognise that pixie isn't just part of the background. So. 6 choices to tease Y'shtola, and they're all great. Maybe I'll just start taking the dumb choices just to see what they are, because I know they don't actually affect anything. You just get a different line of dialogue, but it's a silly thing, because like I said, I know, as I said, it doesn't affect anything. But knowing that like Alice and Alphino and Lise were there. For me to be like, I'll murder your god, whether you want me to or not. I was just worried I'd disappoint them. I was worried there'd be a little conversation and they went, I didn't know you were like that. Oh, you've let me down. And it's like, oh, I've disappointed the anime children. I've got to be a good role model. I'm like 20 years older than them. No effect, just funny reactions to the NPCs. And yeah, I'm there. You know, I'm there like warrior of like Osan. I've got to, you know, be a role model. But when it comes to teasing Y'shtola, I can bend the rules. Dajan Cat. The path leads to the entrance above. Within is an aetheryte. You must use it to enter. Understood. With me, everyone. Again, I like Alphino and Alice and all that are coming with me, even though they know that they can't actually go to the Primal. They're going to have to stop just short, because it's like, well, we're here now. Up to you. That's... I mean, you can call that a marid. That is just an elephant. That is just an elephant. You get one of those as one of the mounts for doing the snake quests, don't you, as well? I know because it's one of the only beast tribes I've actually looked up the rewards for. Because, as I said, I found out you could get... Oh, these are enemies. Hi. Oh. Look, Augustus, isn't she adorable? Ah, sorry. Muted because I had to sneeze. Grab her corpse, Augustus. We'll take her home. Sweet Choice has no reaction, though. The Ananta leader basically says this Lady of Bliss isn't their Lady of Bliss, so they don't care. So it looks like a spicy choice, but it's not. Oh, okay. That's a bit... I mean, that's a... I feel a bit better about not taking the choice now. But it would have been nice... like I said, it would have been cool at first. It would have been fun. I would have been more disappointed if I'd taken it and, yeah, nothing happened. I would have been like, ah, well, that was a bit lame. And now I look like I've got a murder boner in front of my... my anime proteges.
Why, mistress? Why does my Anamika slumber still?
Ah, sorry. I had to blow my nose. I was really disappointed when I took it. Yeah, I bet. It seems, as you say, it seems like a really spicy dialogue option. And then just for it to have kind of a mild outcome is a bit eh.
Look thee on her face, supplicant. Thy prayer hath been answered.
Yeah, again, I thought the thing with Lakshmi is that she made you in her image, but she's not a snake.
Flesh sundered hath been made whole. Blood spilt runneth through her veins. Breath stolen filleth her breast.
Yes. I brought her back to life. Unfortunately, she was dead for like a good 10 minutes and has suffered irreversible brain damage.
But she hears not her mother's words, nor sees her mother's face. She's silent and empty. Only the vessel may be remade, not so the flame which flickered within. Her soul hath been scattered to the four winds.
Or again, just irreversible brain damage.
Now do you see her promises for what they are?
Alisaie, have you gone mad?
Mayhap I have, but I refuse to stand by and watch yet another tragedy unfold.
You don't want to get all primaled.
Who intrudes upon this sacred ground? Imperials, thirsting for blood.
Do we look like Imperials?
No! We come not to shed blood, but to save you from the false god who would lead you astray.
It's like, I don't know, you all look the same to me. Is that, well, to be fair, yeah, you all look the same to us, so fair enough.
I understand how you feel. I do. You loved her with all your heart, but when the moment came, you still couldn't save her. The anguish, the anger, I know it only too well. But I also know where this path leads. To embrace a primal is to condemn yourself to an endless cycle of despair. You will never know peace.
A worm-eaten heart may find peace and serenity in service, in beauty and grace. This had ever been my promise. Naught else.
You tempt them with visions of things that can never be and leave them bereft and wanting.
Like the
No
lottery.
illusion, however sweet, can change the fact that your daughter is gone. Remember her as she was. Do not suffer this piteous shade to tarnish her memory.
Or a gacha game.
For every prayer that primal answers, it'll demand payment in kind. Do you have any idea how many more Ananta will die to feed its hunger for crystals?
They would have thee suffer man's spite and live in fear. Far better to dwell in my beauteous dream than endure so ugly a reality.
She's wrong! We hate the Empire as much as you, if you just listen!
Poor, misguided children. I would spare you the torments of this cruel and misshapen world. Come, bask in my radiance. Let it fill your hearts and free you from your burdens.
I have to beat up this tarot card, aren't I? Tarot card, I should say. Look at her. In hindsight, I should have just done this on the first attack.
Abide in misery then, fools. The Ananta are more deserving of my blessing. Leave these lands and my dreamers be. I will not warn you a second time.
Yeah, give me 5 minutes, I'm gonna go get some friends, and then I'll come back and beat you up. Again, that's how this goes. Every friggin' primal. Even the ones that don't want to fight me, eventually want to fight me. Bloody Ramu. I know, it was stupid and foolish, but I had to try, Jack, I had to. I had to try and I failed, so you have to fight. There is no other way. I'll wake them from the dream, never stop trying, Primos cannot be suffered to live, you know this. Yeah, so these are all a bit kind of... Never stop trying. It means a lot to hear you say that, it does. But it doesn't make it any easier to have to ask you to face that thing. It's fine, I've been sat here just, like, prepping my magic in anticipation. I just assumed... Again, it's a primal, I have to fight it. It's very rare that I don't. We can do all that we can. We We can but do that which is within our power. Lys, Alphino, and I will go and seize the crystal stores. This will not happen again. And you, when it is finished, we will be waiting for you. Emanation. 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 Ah. You still about, Stratus? Do you want to do this one with me, or are you busy now? I like how they just left. It's like, go away. Fine, we'll leave. Okay, that answers that question. Thank you. Appreciate it as always. Just makes things... Oh, it's a full... Wait, it is a trial, isn't it? Oh, yeah, no. Trials are 8 people, aren't they? I always think trials are 4, but dungeons are 4. Which makes less sense, because you think the longer ones would require more people. But I guess because it's shorter, it's more likely that more people will show up. Okay. I suppose I could use this brick to actually look up what to do on this one. Which I never normally do. Emanation, FF14. Emanation. Alright. Defeat the Ananta. Try to fight for herself. This is an instant kill on anyone not shielded by the duty mechanic Vril. Players can hold a single charge of Vril at any time and activate it when they wish. Once activated, the charge lasts around 30 seconds. It significantly reduces the effect of Lakshmi's attacks. How do I get it? Oh, I didn't click OK and it went away, but I thought I still had... Oh, a party member has withdrawn. That wasn't me. I think I had time. I still had time to accept that. So it's always very straightforward. Don't stand in the AoEs, apart from the ones you need to stack for, and you'll be fine. Telegraph, hand ability. Man, it's always so confusing reading the guide, and then doing it, and it's just like, oh, I understand now what this actually requires of me. Yeah, I think I prefer. Well, I don't mind the dungeons once, like for the story, but the trials are the ones that I like. I don't mind redoing for like poetics and stuff. Right, well, I've commenced this time, so pretty straightforward, is it? Okay. Oh, it would have removed us from the queue if it wasn't us. Oh, it was us. Okay. I didn't think it was. I thought I had time. Oh. She's a cool-looking boss, I will say. I look forward to killing her.
Decriers, defilers. Open your heart to me.
How do I... How do I actually pick up the... Okay, I think I've got one. Oh, this is some great music as well. Oh, 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 oh. Okay, so if I get targeted with one of those, I need to move away from everyone. Understood. Alright.
Rest your weary souls in my bosom.
I don't think I got one. Whoa. Is this good or bad? It doesn't look good. I mean, it looks great, but I feel like it's gonna kill us.
I shall free you from your hate.
Killed me. Okay. I don't know how to pick up the blue orbs. I'll be honest. Oh, there's the button. There's a special button. I see. I forget how to do the... Ah! Okay. And that one just yeeted me off the edge. This isn't straightforward at all. I don't know what I'm...
Do not your souls weigh heavy?
I wasn't expecting the being yeeted, if I'm honest. Hang on. There we go. Thought I'll accept after that attack hits the place I'm standing. Okay, I did it this time. I got the blue ball.
Your souls are stained.
I know what I'm doing now. It's fine.
I shall free you from your hate.
Oh no, I think I'm okay. I gotta stay over here. Ow. Oh, I need a ball. There we go. I have a ball. I have a ball. I'm good. I will not die. I will not get yeeted. We're good. I got yeeted slightly, but I'm still alive. Oh, I got selected again. Ow.
surrender to bliss. Your souls are stained.
Alright, I think we've got her on the ropes. It is possible I walked off the edge in trying to maneuver the beams in a way that wasn't deadly. Didn't realize you could walk off the edge of this one. I thought you could only get... I mean, it makes sense. You can get knocked off the edge. So it makes sense that you could walk off the edge. Really, I shouldn't need to have been told that. Thank you, Citratus.
Do not your souls weigh heavy?
I need to... Oh, okay. I was desperately trying to heal I was desperately trying to dodge the multitude of beams and then heal myself at the end there. Okay. Not my best effort, but I do... I think by the end of that, sometimes I do these and I die, and I'm like, I have no idea what I did wrong. Or I don't know what's supposed to be going on, or what. In that one, I feel like I've got an idea of what I'm supposed to be doing. Is the party gone? Yeah, okay. I was going to do GG's, but they've all gone already. I've got an idea of what I did wrong there and what not to do next time, so... The other healer was trolling, jumping off the edge and pulling players. Really? Considering, then, that the other healer was trolling, we did alright then. I promise you, though, all of my deaths were my own. I didn't see the big vril command that's on screen at the moment, nor the... I forgot... I mean, it even tells me which button to press to activate it. Like, it doesn't matter which trigger I use. It's R3 on both of them, and I still missed it. And then I got yeeted, and then I just walked off the edge, so... Oh, they didn't do it the whole fight, just at the start, did they? Even still. I think I would have been slightly more reassured if my death had been the result of someone else. But unfortunately, no, it was just my own incompetence. There, bottom prompt comes back often. Yeah, I know it's there. It's just that it's...
You did it again. You saved them. I just wish I could have been more help.
It's far enough apart each time it happens that I always panic when it shows up. And I sort of like, I know it's one of the triggers. It's one of the sticks to activate it, but I always forget the exact button combo. But again, I know what to do with that fight now if I have to do it again. Which I assume I'll do for some bird or horse or wolf or something.
So, it looks like the Ananta did have a mountain of crystals after all. Like every other tribe. Gods were all such slaves to our weaknesses.
You slew our mistress! She was our hope, our salvation! Is there no end to your cruelty?
Listen to me, please. I know that you're only trying to protect yourselves because you feel frightened and alone. But that's how we all feel. Don't you see? If we could just turn to each other for help instead of the gods, I'm sure we could find a way to live in peace. Your crystals are important to you, aren't they? Reflections of your souls, right? Well, you shouldn't have to sacrifice something so precious to a primal.
I feel like the Warrior of Light standing here going, am I supposed to be listening to this as well? Because, like, all of my power comes from a crystal god too. Like, the only reason I can
Who
fight
are you
primals
to question our choice?
is because of
You
Hydaelyn's
who
protection.
Fight without fear. We wish only to live in peace. And if this be the price we must pay, then so be it!
I know there's nothing I can say to convince you. But I hope that one day you look back and see we only ever wanted the same thing.
Also, this guy beat your primal, and there's a guy in the Imperials who is way stronger than this guy. So, he could also... Well, actually, I guess he risks being indoctrinated or whatever, but still, it's not a foolproof plan as you think it is.
Begone, damn you! Spare me your hollow words, and leave me to mourn.
I'll go. But it doesn't mean I'm giving up. Girabania is our home too. And one way or another, we're going to have to learn to live together.
Yeah, true. Primals are fake gods. But, I mean, maybe Hydaelyn is too. We don't know. I mean, you probably do know by now, but... I don't know.
Half an hour and Ali's there waiting.
I just... It was sort of... She was talking like, we should look to each other for help, not for the gods. Stop praying to a crystal. And it's like I'm sitting there going... Yeah! Yeah! Meanwhile... Oh no, Fordola's brought...
The savage returns, and with her tail firmly between her legs, beaten by beastmen, I hear.
She's brought a red shirt with her to take the fall. I know a sacrificial lamb when I see one. Hydaelyn her primal, preposterous. I know, it's madness. I mean, she's only a giant crystal.
She may have curried the Viceroy's favor with her bold promises, but in the end, she's just another plodding bungler like the rest of her kind.
Strange. You would think him a better judge of character. Then again, I hear she's not averse to a more physical mode of persuasion.
I thought she rose through the ranks rather quickly, but no longer. If only she had been content with her lot, she might...
No, don't kill them. The Warrior of Light will kill them eventually. It's fine. I shouldn't be saying that part out loud. I'm supposed to be on the Empire's side. I'll have you know, my god is the only real god. There are 12 of them, apparently. Although, it's entirely possible that all 12 of them are primals. It's not. It's yeah. It's unclear. It might turn out the Empire...
Commander of the Cranial Lupi, reporting as ordered.
It might turn out the Empire was right all along. Which is always a horrible thing. And it's like, oh, God! I hate them, but they're so right.
Why do you tremble so?
Well, you do have a habit of stabbing people. Just on a whim. And I'm the only person in the room.
Could it be that the Empire's butcher is afraid? That she who walks with death is terrified of her own?
I'm terrified of you.
I'm terrified of dying having achieved naught. Gladly would I give my life to win a great victory on the battlefield, had I but the strength.
Alas, you do not. Indeed, you are weak. And born of this weakness is a blind fervor, a raging inferno which threatens to consume not only you, but everyone around you.
In a good way or a bad way?
Yes, my lord.
I don't know that there's necessarily a good way to be consumed by a raging inferno, but this is a metaphor.
By the Resistance on several occasions. You misjudged the Ananta and spurred them into summoning an icon. Have you anything to say?
I do not, my lord. My failures are my own. I am prepared to accept your judgment.
It would be... Imagine if he just killed her. And he's just like, yeah, that's it, that's Fordola. She gets killed by a cutscene, in a cutscene, you know, you don't even see her die. You come in later and you find her corpse tucked to the side of the room.
And that is very admirable. However, I've had enough of this dumb show. Give voice to that hunger I see in your eyes, or I will pluck them from your head.
Oh yeah, there's the line from Mass Effect. See? Crazy people and stealing and taking your eyes out. They go hand in hand. Like the eyes do once you pluck them out.
I want to make them pay! All of them! Everyone who ever mocked or looked down on me! I want the power to make them pay!
Is he gonna do what they did to Grinwald, whatever, turn her into a monster?
Very well.
Or he's just gonna give her a robot?
Then I shall give you a chance. A chance to transcend your mortal limits.
Oh, no,
Assuming, that is, you are prepared to wager your life for such power.
He's going for the monsterification.
Transcend, my lord. I came here prepared to die. Tell me what I must do.
If it's unsuccessful, you will lose your humanity and turn into a ravenous beast. I'll set you on the warrior against the Warrior of Light. He'll probably kill you because you'll have lost all of your, like, you know, combat training and tactical reasoning and things like that. But if you're successful, I'll give you a suit of armor that when you get angry turns gold. So I think you'll find it's an even trade. Oh! It's a new villain. Alright, you could have told us his name or something. I'll call him Hojo. Hi, Hojo! I mean, he's clearly a Hojo-looking motherfucker. No. Where did my grape juice go? Did I only have the one? Oh, maybe I only had the one. Fine, I should eat a Zoni. I wish we could have left on better terms, but that was never going to happen. It could be a problem if they get their hands on any more crystals, though. Never mind. We'll deal with that when the time comes. Do I want any of these? No, I don't. A ravenous beast, so no different. Hey! She's not a beast. She's ravenous, though. Oh, she gives me a shore log and an aether current. Yay! You have done us a great service this day. Long shall my sisters sing the praises of the Icon Slayer. Let us spare word of them to Sri Lakshmi's passing. Come, friends, to Vira Nilya. I can teleport there, can I? That was the... That's the place I've got. Where am I going? Oh, no, it's the Peering Stones I can teleport to. This place I just have to walk to, okay. We'll deal with that when it comes to it. You mean I'll deal with it? Yeah, basically there is a lot of... The Scions of the Seventh Dawn are a lot of... We'll take care of it. Until Jack Dandy arrives to actually take care of it. Like, there's a couple of them. Like, Thancred gets some stuff done. And, mostly Thancred, honestly. Yugiri does as well, but she's not technically a Scion. Oh, I wonder if Cryo got turned into a, Oh. Because Cryo got kidnapped as well, didn't she? Am I just going to fight like monstrifications of the different captured characters? Oh, a monster, just a monstrified Lalafell. It's just a regular sized guy. You just have to worry of like, yeah, it'd be so much better if I could like extend my echo protection to the other members of the Scions, but alas. Ah, the winds whispered of your success, and your eyes confirmed their testimony. The Lady of Bliss no longer holds our Kaliana sisters in her thrall. For this we thank you. Jack did the deed. We were but witnesses to his heroism. However, I fear this is only the beginning, for there is no cure for that which drives the desperate to beseech the gods for salvation. Should they wish to use their crystals to summon Sri Lakshmi again, naught can be done to stop them. I mean, but we can stop them afterwards, easily. We ignore our sister's plight at our peril. This we know. We shall endeavour to show them the path so that the day you speak of never comes. We're all in this together, Alamegans and Ananta. We understand that. Hopefully, in time, they will too. You and yours will ever be friends of the Vera. On that you have my word. We should be getting back to the Peering Stones. Thank you again, Sarisha, for everything. Bye. I'll come back and do your beast quests eventually. Promise. This one I can teleport to. Yagiri's a cutie, so if she's with you, she'd get a pass. Yeah, that's fair. But same for Thancred. Same for Thancred. Showing off with your flying. I'll get it eventually. Welcome back, Conrad. Welcome back. Conrad and Marshal Tarapin came to render aid, but I hear that won't be necessary. It won't. Sri Lakshmi's gone. But I should probably start at the beginning. Dandy killed it. Fade to black. Incredible. I don't know what to say. If you hadn't been there to stop her, who knows where it would have ended. You've saved a lot of lives, Jack. Take pride in that. It must be said that this is something of an unprecedented situation. Previous summonings were, to my knowledge, planned well in advance by a tribe as a whole. Indeed, there are several aspects of this incident which bear further investigation. In any event, the Kaliana's supply of crystals must remain limited for the foreseeable future, and ambient aether levels closely observed. Understood. The Alliance will consult with the Resistance and the Vera on how best to enforce said restrictions. Thank you, Vice Marshal. To other matters, then. What news of the Imperials? None, which itself is troubling. It seems as though the Skulls and the remainder of the garrison have fully withdrawn into the peaks. We've seen neither hide nor hair of them since Volodnia. Regardless of their reasons, our path is clear. Father has decided that it is time to advance east. Finally. He was almost empathetic that you be spared further duties for the present. You are to rest. It would not do for the Warrior of Light to collapse from exhaustion during the march. We may not be as strong or as quick as him, but we are soldiers nonetheless. We can deal with the Imperials. Aye, you've earned this respite, so enjoy it. And the same goes for you, Monargo. You've run away from your family too long. Don't deny it. As you say, sir. Thank you. We'll make the most of our time here. I sense a rest cutscene coming up, same as it did at the beginning of before we assaulted Doma. Heh, looks like it's up to me and mine to give you lot a proper welcome. My mother prepared a special meal for this occasion, and I have it on good authority that hers is the finest cook in this side of the Volodnia. It's like, I hope you like goblin cheese on toast. Ah. Honoured guests, I pray you partake of our humble offerings as we give thanks for your many valiant deeds. We have killed 3 chickens and lots of fruit. Thank you, sir, for this warm welcome. We are honoured to break bread with you and your family. Oh, come, come, eat your fill of our food and drink deep of our spirits. There is more than enough for all. Well, when you put it that way, don't mind if I do. Alice and Evan are like, we're literally 16, so we'll just eat the food. Leave the spirits to the Warrior of Light and Lise. Not the goblin cheese made from goblin milk that came from goblin nipples. Yes, the goblin cheese made from goblin milk that came out of goblin nipples. She wasn't kidding when she said her mother could cook. You know, seeing her with her family, I can't help thinking of my own. Aren't all of her family dead? I think so. How my father would come home from a hunt with dinner on his shoulder, and Ida would prepare it with herbs and spices. Our mother died when I was little, so she did most of the cooking. Wait, I've never seen a female goblin. You've also never seen how many nipples the male goblins have. Oh! It's like a cat. We didn't have much, but we had each other, and that was enough for me. But they wouldn't let us have even that. Theodoric, Gaius, of course Father and Ida had to fight. I would have too if I'd been older, but they didn't have to die. But they did die. This is some really sharp head movements from these two. It never ends, does it? They call us beasts, and they treat us like them. They push, and until someone pushes back. Until someone takes up arms, or summons a god, a false god. Or a real god, or a false god. If the 12 are watching us, what are they thinking? What are they thinking when they see the strong hurt the weak? When people fight and die and nothing gets better, and it just goes on and on and on? There is no justice, just us. You'd have to ask them. ... This is no time to be a broody, silent protagonist. Although I am a silent protagonist. You'd have to ask them. This is quite uplifting music for a conversation about how the people like... I hate the world's in such a terrible state. What would the gods think if they saw man fighting man and killing each other like we do? And it's just like this uplifting, like this is the part of the movie where, this is the end of the movie. This is where the villains have been defeated and the heroic music's playing. Hopefully the goblin milk comes out of their nipples. The alternative is not very appetizing. That's not milk then. That's a different kind of cheese. Let's not think about it. Let's just look at Lise. Thanks for listening. I know I was just rambling, but I feel better somehow. Who knows what the answers are? If there even are any. Either way, life goes on and we've got to go with it. Sorry, that sounded better in my head. I must be getting tired. Time to turn in, I think. Tomorrow's another day, eh? Let's see what it brings. Sleep well, Jack. Cut to the morning, everything's on fire. Oh, God! How is everything on fire? Everything's made out of rocks! There is something to be said for a home-cooked meal, is there not? We must cherish these moments, fleeting as they are. The fight will always be there, waiting for us to return. Indeed. Azurite ears of casting. I'll take the material. Ba-da-ba-da-bum. Ooh. No. So she's got one. How many am I on now? So I need 2 more missions and 1 more current. So I was no point doing that one until I got the other mission. I trust you are well rested and refreshed, yes? Then let us return to the front. The greater part of the Alliance forces should have advanced into the peaks by now, but I expect we will pass many of our comrades on the road east. There is a checkpoint along the way, as I recall, but we will need only to identify ourselves to the soldiers in order to pass. Oh, okay. Let's go. Oh, I died a bunch of times. Should I, yeah, let's just repair everything. Where am I going? This way. I know they left the village that way, but I'm just gonna throw myself off the cliff. Ooh. No, okay. I like to check, just because sometimes they've got triple triads hidden behind them. You know, so they're sneaky. My mistake was assuming rocks can't be flammable. Some rocks are flammable, I'm sure. Oh, it was that old joke, because it always reminds me of that joke from the Flintstones, where they go, why do we have a fire department? The entire city's built out of rocks. And it's a good point. Like, what is there to catch fire here? There's no trees. I mean, I suppose throw enough oil around and you can set fire to anything you want. It seems quite fast. Did I get the mountain speed increase? Maybe it just seems fast. Scions, pleasure to have you with us again. You'll be happy to hear we've taken Alagiri, and I've already begun fortifying it as our new base of operations in the peaks. Give a shout to the lads as you pass, eh? Oh, have I unlocked a new map? Hey! So this is the final area. The peaks. The Peak District, if you will.
I remember how they laughed. Alliance and Resistance soldiers, eager for battle, trading jokes as we marched east towards the peaks. Beyond this last line of defenses lay the locks and the city. Breaching it would be no small feat. But we beat the Imperials back, just like that. And we liberated a village, the first of many.
We just glamoured their flag again. We'll just keep doing that until it stops working. Eventually it must. But, you know, until it does. As you can see, this part of the peaks is much higher than the northern reaches. Hence why the Imperials built Specula Imperatoris where they did. See those 3 towers to the east? It's quite a foggy day. That's her. Sits right on the edge of a cliff, so attacking from the north is a fool's errand. From the south, on the other hand, she's no different from any other Imperial installation. You see now why the Vlodnia was so important, eh? Right then, come along. They're waiting for us in Alagiri. Is Alagiri an allegory for something? Is this another metaphor? No? Okay. My Chocobo got desummoned. So there must be enough quests in the previous area to unlock flying now. And then I just have to then go and find the last Ithorite. So I'll go and do that. I'll do that but by next stream, so that we have flying unlocked there. And then where's the other area? Oh, the peaks. Oh, so actually no, there is still there's a 6th area to unlock still. Why did I think I'd unlocked all of them? So I'll unlock flying in the fringes. Oh wait, no, I've been to the peaks already. Did I come to a different part of the peaks? I'm confused now about where I am in relation to... Oh, Alagana. And then, yeah, I couldn't get over here because of the rocks. Okay, no, so I have been to the peaks before. I'm just now in the other part of it. So there is still a 6th area. Yeah, I remember doing the top part. I remember because we climbed the ziggurat to chase that guy's... to get that guy's money back for... That was when we were introduced to Fordola originally. I just forgot that that was this area. But yes, I understand now. Yeah. Yeah, I'm on top of it. I'm all over it now. I'm all over it. So I should be unlocking flying here soon, I reckon, as well. Because I did try at some point, but I just couldn't get to this part of the map. But yeah, now I can. So. Here we are, the new base of operations for the Alliance and the Resistance. Ah, there you are. Greetings, General. I see you've been quite busy in our absence. Less than you may imagine. The Imperials fled at our coming, and we took the village without a fight. Your timing is impeccable. We're about to discuss our strategy to seize Specular Imperatorius. Although we are fresh from the road, we would be glad to attend. Good. Take a moment to gather yourselves and join us when you are ready. Nod. Da, da. Exactly, that Fordola busting some kneecaps because the shop couldn't pay protection money. Yeah, she's like a really small-scale mafia organization. Oh wait, you already given me another piece of clothing? I mean, I can't use any of these, but... Well, you heard the Flame General. Looks like we've got a meeting to attend. Oh god, it's just like proper, it's like actual work. Alright, let's do this. I'll be there in a minute, let me just check my emails. There you go, register with the Chocobo Keep. Now register with the Aetheryte. Now do the cursory. Does anyone want to play... Does anyone want to play Triple Triad? No? Okay. No. Oh. No. We brought the big table over. 3 men put their backs out, but it was worth it. It's the only table big enough for this map. Now, we could get a smaller map, but I don't want to. Right, that everyone, then let us begin. Aligiri is ours, and for a mercy, we took it without losing a single man. But we dare not grow complacent. Specular Imperatorius will not be so easily won. We just go up to the front door and they run away, and it's like, oh, I guess it was. Sorry. So I'm just looking at... Okay, I got nothing coming up. And then that's right at the end. And that's right at the end. Oh, we're coming quite close to the end of Stormblood then. That's cool. If I may, General, should we not pause to consider the Imperial's motivations? For Xenos to surrender a fortified settlement of strategic importance without so much as firing a shot is inexplicable. We searched the village and found no traps or other signs of sabotage. Suspicious though it may be, I will not refuse this gift from our enemy. The path to Alamigo is through the east, through Specular Imperatoris and Castrum Albania. It bears repeating, however, that the latter is home to a massive cannon with unparalleled range and destructive power. Which means that we will need to strike Specular Imperatoris quickly, both to limit their ability to locate our forces in the field, and to utilize the installation as a shield against attack, as they would doubtless not risk damaging the towers. I see. Then we have no choice but to accept what we have been given. Aye, that's the way of it. I've no doubt that Xenos has got something planned, but we'll just have to deal with it when the time comes. To the assault, then. The main host will commence a direct assault on Specular Imperatoris. During this time, I will hold the Scions in reserve at Alagiri to deal with any Imperial forces that may be dispatched in response. Understood. Wait a minute, we should be fighting with you in the Resistance. I understand you don't want to rely too much on Jack after what he's been through, but at least let the rest of us do our part. You can get Jack to, like, go and deliver some, like, boxes of ham or something. If she wants to fight, I say let her fight. Thanks. I knew you would understand. I am a battle maniac, yes. Mayhap it'd be best if I accompanied you. Alice can stay with Jack. Oh, go if you must. The two of us can take care of ourselves. We're both red mages, after all. You have your orders. Dismissed. I like how you had Ralban and one of the other tall ones, and then in between you had Pippin, and they were all walking at the same stride, but all keeping pace. Really, Pippin would have to, like, scurry. I feel like the Lalafell should scurry a bit more often. Or scamper. Either way. Scurry, scamper. Hey, Kryle's not dead. Oh, but...
My head.
Oh, they take in, like, Kryle's, I don't know, life energy or something out of her and pumping it into Fordola? Or maybe it's like a fusion. Or we're gonna get Kryldola.
Let us see. So, she lives. Impressive. Or merely lucky, though that too may prove a useful trait.
I'd expected Kryl to have been decapitated by now. I'm pretty sure in the last cutscene we saw her, they implied that that was the case. But I guess she dodged. It's not super clear
My Lord, what have you done to me?
Not super clear what's happened to her. Or Fordial. No, that's when they use the earrings. That's a different transfer. That's a different fusion technique. This is the dance.
Intellectually and physiologically superior in almost all respects. We lack the hereditary traits required for the reliable manipulation of ether. Hence our unique inability to wield magics.
Okay, well at least we've got a name for this guy. So Asina. I like how he's like, although we Guardians are physiologically superior, apart from this one very specific area that makes us physiologically much more inferior, because we can't use magic, which is why we have to rely on robots.
Deficiency, for want of a better word, saw us subjected to decades of oppression by the lesser races, and we were eventually driven to seek shelter in the cold northern reaches of Ilsabad. Fortunately, said region was replete with vast deposits of ceruleum, which proved instrumental in the development of Magitech. A revolutionary technology conceived to compensate for our disadvantage.
Yeah, robots.
It was with Magitech that we grew strong, that our nation became an empire. Yet, ultimately,
no worries.
this
Gotta
was
take
an
care of dog.
extrinsic solution to an intrinsic problem. What I wanted was not a crude device to be used in lieu of magic. Through modification of the Garlean genome, I argued that it might be possible to enhance a subject's ability to manipulate ether, effectively empowering them to wield magics. Alas, my theories were met with consternation in the Imperial Court.
But
only Lord Xenos, with commendable foresight and wisdom, deigned to support my research.
Carrot and talking. Fordola's not Garlean, though.
You gave me this treatment.
Thank you.
I'm not Garlean.
I was gonna say, I literally said. Wasn't going to say. I just said.
Alamegan, through and through. What you have been granted is far greater than mere magic. Before that lesser light, it is as a second sun.
I am informed that Alagiri was recently occupied by the Resistance.
You're a mother.
And that an
Congratulations.
attack on Specular Imperatoris is considered imminent. This could provide an ideal opportunity to test her performance in the field.
Your skulls, was it? They have joined the garrison at the Watchtower?
Yes, my lord. By your leave, I would rendezvous with them and lead a counterattack against the insurgents.
No. Even were you to leave now, you would not arrive in time. There is another duty I would entrust to you.
Ah, it's Thancred. See, I told you. Thancred's the only one who ever gets anything done. Like, he's the only one who's actually like, alright, look. Well, the other signs of the Seventh Dawn are dicking about and, you know, wandering around, doing whatever. I'm gonna go and sneak around and actually do stuff. Ah, Thancred, my boy. He's here to save Kryl and maybe the other people who have been captured. It's not clear. But definitely Kryl. Oh, my food's about to run out. Well, not that I'm in short supply. I still got like flatbread and steak. I got loads of food. It's fine. So full of fire and eager, weren't they? Well, I wouldn't worry too much. They're strong and they have each other. At least he spared me the trouble of having to speak up. I wasn't about to let Lise go alone. No. Material. Twin silk coat of casting. Okay, they're giving me two body. Ooh. Ah. Not as big a fan of that one, if I'm honest. It's not. No. No. I mean, I'll do the quest. I have to, but we have a fair bit of ground to cover, so we should split up. If you come across any Imperial soldiers, you know what to do. Oh, and so you know, I have sent word to Ironvald's squadron. They were already searching other nearby areas, so we have allies in the event we encounter anything beyond our means. I'm still suspicious of Ironvald, but I also appreciate that he could also be the token sacrificial character in order to make you feel emotions. I feel like Fordola's going to kill someone before she dies, and it's either going to be it's not going to be anyone that important. So it's either going to be Monargo, it's going to be Ironvald. It could be Kemp. It could be Kemp. Basically, any of the characters introduced in this DLC are viable options. Viable options? They might die. Estinian was doing something as well. It's been a little while. I'm sure there was a scene where Estinian was looking over a cliff into a hole. And then... we haven't seen him since. So hopefully he shows back up again, because I like Estinian. Hang on, let me summon my bird. Only a little bit of XP, but it's XP all the same. Finish him off. There you go. Good bird. Who's a good bird? You are. I need to get Augustus some new barding. His is quite old. I've been waiting for a sale, but the sale they just started is only on the summer items, and there's not really anything I want from that. Ooh. Well, let's get this Aether current while we're here. Saves me a job later. Right, well that was... yeah, fine. It's just again more busy work, isn't it? Hey, Alice. Give me a moment, Jack. Say that again if you would. No, maintain your distance for now. Understood. Keep me apprised of any developments. That was Arenvald. The pair that was spying on us in the fringes has followed us here. What about you, Jack? Any trouble? I killed some robots and a guy and his dog. And I was thinking we might be due for some peace and quiet. Glad to hear you're down with them. I hope the assault on Specular Imperatorius is going well. Oh, hang on, I'm getting a call. Oh, the assault on Specular Emporius is going incredibly badly. We should probably head over there. Apparently, there's a lady with loads of magic. Oh, actually, we are cutting over to it now. I mean, it's nice that the armies are actually like doing stuff without us. They're not leaning on us too hard. But I do also feel like they're going to lose here, and we're going to have to run in and save them.
Whoa! You've improved, lad.
Oh, look at that. He's got his...
father. You lured the fool onto my blade, and do not try to deny it.
He's got his own little bull helmet to match his dad. It's like a kid playing dress-up. Oh, Pippin, you're adorable.
Our work here is all but done. What of Conrad and his men?
They are for the main tower. The skulls have offered fierce resistance thus far, but Conrad seems to believe he can convince them to lay down their arms.
Then we will tend to the stragglers down below. With me!
I mean, it seems to be going fine, actually. I thought they'd be in a much worse situation, but
Report.
Enemy forces have overrun the lower facilities and appear to be mounting an assault on the main tower. We have already received a request for reinforcements.
You think she'd have her own suit of armor
A
by
unit
now?
of legionaries has been mustered and is ready to depart. They await your orders, Commander.
Stand down.
Commander?
Tell them to stand down.
Commander, if I may, our people, your people are still in there. They will be slaughtered.
You think I don't know that? I want nothing more than to help them. To lead the bloody charge. But I have my orders.
Oh, now she's sacrificing her other own people
Lord Zeno
again.
said no reinforcements. He would have us use the main cannon to destroy the installation.
What? Kill our own soldiers? You must be mistaken.
No, we're the bad guys. That's the kind of thing bad guys do.
Mayhap you'd like to ask Lord Zenos yourself. I thought not. Initiate the firing sequence. Wars are won on the backs of the dead. Theirs and ours. There is no truth but this. We must remain firm and resolute and always, always do our duty. Now, give the order.
Go on. Ah.
Initiate firing sequence.
I thought he was going to be like that wolf in Kung Fu Panda 2, but he wasn't.
Aye, aye. Initiating firing sequence. Release safety locks. Deploy main cannon.
Is it a wolf? It was a hyena. It was a dog or a hyena or something. He said no, and the bird killed him. It's a great moment. I love that film.
Hansfrid, Rudolph, Emlyn. For us. For our people. For our future.
Wait, Ralbad and Pippin are there. Don't kill them.
I need you to confirm the target, Commander.
Specula Imperatoris, main tower. Fire when ready.
So did you point? We've got our backs turned to you. Oh, so you've still got a bit of magical ringing in her ears. Yeah, I like Fordola. I don't see her having any kind of redemption arc. I feel like it's going to be a sort of, you know, I've sacrificed too much now to, you know, turn heel. So I'm just going to go all in for a penny, in for a pound, full bad guy, and die in doing so. And I can respect that. Whee!
What in the seven hells?
Long-range artillery.
Those treacherous bastards. Their people were still fighting. Full retreat! Now! Relay the orders!
Understood.
I mean, they knew the gun was an option, so I don't know why they're that surprised. Again, they're like, they are these.
Retreat!
These are the
All
Garleans.
forces retreat!
We know they're dicks. It's absolutely the kind of thing they would do. This is FF14. Every villain gets a redemption arc, except the ones we kill. Their death is the redemption arc. That's it. My thinking is Fordola's death is going to be her redemption arc. It's going to be like, she's going to be like, I've sacrificed too much. I'm going all in. I'm going to, I don't know, maybe transform slightly. I'm going to die, and then I'm going to be like, oh, it was not worth it. Blah. By the 12, did you see that? The main tower just collapsed. You heard it too, didn't you? It must have been the cannon at Castrum Albania, but that was an Imperial installation, and their troops were still... Damn it, no one's responding. I don't know if the shell is being jammed, or... They've lost their phone. There's a number of possible options. We have to go right now. They need our help. Not. I mean, I don't know what you expect me to do. They've already fired the cannon. I guess we could try and dig them out of the rubble. This way. There's no time to lose. So it's interesting that we came in here and they're like, look at those 3 towers. And then it's been like 20 minutes and one of those towers has been destroyed. And it's just interesting that the skyline changed so quickly. No cell towers out in the boonies. Yeah, it's just this area. It's just the peaks have got terrible reception. Which you'd think for a place called the Peaks, they'd have pretty good reception because of all of the, you know, peaks. But no. They're all filled with metal, and it upsets the signals. Yeah, that's a thing. It's worse than it looks. He probably wasn't even... pull yourself together. The gate. This is our way inside. We need to find my brother right now. Was he there? He wasn't in any of the cutscenes. The locks on that gate appear to have been disabled. You need only prise them open to pass through. Well, I shall do that then. Because I am strong. Ryban, I've apprised the door. Now apprise me of the situation. Magnetic mountains. Exactly. That's probably a thing. I'm glad you're here, Jack. In case it is obvious, the Imperials fired on us on Specular Imperatoris. I didn't think they had it in them to kill their own men just to kill us. God damn them all. Where is my brother? Tell me, where is he? I want to see him. He was in the tower when it was struck, but that need not mean anything. Our forces are still evacuating and many remain unaccounted for. Alasay, listen. There are soldiers wounded and dying around us. Oh, dying all around us. Soldiers with families, just like you and me. They need our help. Do you understand? He's right. I'll take the north, you take the east. It's a good job I'm playing as a class with a healing spell. Magnet mountains, they affect magic cell phones. Well, what else is going to affect them? Magic mountains, they only exist at Disney World. And we don't have Disney World in Eorzea. Disney haven't set up a location here yet. Thank you. I think I can manage on my own. You touched my shoulder, and that's pretty much done it. For a moment there, I thought I was bound to Fathal's Great Hall. Ye gods, what were the Imperials thinking? It's interesting that none of the Imperial soldiers survived. Like, you'd think there'd be like a couple that would just be like, hey, well, we surrender. Look, they fucking fired on us. I ain't going back to that. Soon. Disney have got their finger in everything. They'll get... Although apparently Sony want to buy Square Enix, so... I don't know what that means for a Disney World. Just give me a moment to let the world stop spinning, would you? Gary's not far. I'll make it. Oh, this was taking a really long time. I'm gonna have to really focus my back massage. Patch 6.2 is coming out. Patch 6.2 is coming out next month with Island Sanctuary. Oh yeah, it is, isn't it? It's yeah, that's gonna be interesting. I don't know how much I'm going to engage with that, but what Square hasn't said is that the Island Sanctuary is sponsored by Disney. Oh, it's all an elaborate marketing ploy. Ugh, everything hurts. They got struck by debris from the tower. It's pronounced debris. Sorry, I've only ever seen it written down. Wait, I know you. Jack Dandy, Ward of House 4 Tom. It's 4 Temps. It's like, no, it's 4 Toms. Like, oh, sorry. I've only ever seen it written down. We fought a dumb joke. We fought together on the steps of faith. You saved my life back then, and now. I can walk. Thank you. 1,000 times, thank you. Conrad, can you hear me? Nago, put him down over there. Oh, has Alphino got a bump on his head? Has he got a boo-boo on his knee? Does he need the Warrior of Light to kiss it better? No, that's not Alphino. That's not Alphino at all. That's Kemp. Everyone is getting their own private Disneyland. That's the how they've advertised it, but the reality is it's just
Conrad, speak to me.
It is just one giant advertisement that you pay for.
It was all so sudden. Conrad had just convinced the last few skulls to surrender when we heard the bang and everything started to shake. We carried the survivors to safety, but Conrad's... We have done what we can for him. All that remains is to pray.
You know, me and Ala, we could use our healing spells on him. Alice.
Conrad?
There you go. We can use our healing spells. Very cure. Very cure.
Is that you, Lise? I can't see a damn thing. Well, that's that then. Time's up.
What are you talking about? You'll be on your feet before you know it.
It's all right, Lise. I've lived long enough. But listen, I want you to lead the resistance in my stead.
Don't say another word. You'll recover. We'll recover. We'll bring freedom to Alamigo together. We're not going to stop here.
No, you won't. Everything we've built, everyone we've brought together, I know you'll show them the way. You've got it in you, Lise. Not because you're Curtis's daughter or Ida's sister, but because you're you. Because you're you.
Conrad.
I don't mean to
victory. To freedom.
I don't know, ruin the moment, but I did call this. I did say it would be either Kemp, Monaco, or Arenvold who gets killed in the next, like, 10 minutes. Someone had to die for Dola to be, like, properly evil.
I will. I promise.
And it had to be someone from this DLC because they're all expendable. You've got it in you, I know it. I've known you for like 3 days. Yeah. And 2 of those days were like 2 months ago, and then you disappeared to the other side of the planet for 2 months to fight in a different war, and then you came back, and then it's been another day, and now I'm dead. So, it's technically been a long time, but the actual amount of our interactions has been worryingly scant. She, you know, you can trust Lise. You remember when she talked to those guys in that village, and that one guy went, "Okay, I'll help you." That's how you know.
Next round, double the charge.
That's how you know. Is it my boy? Yay!
We are needed.
Oh, that's what he was doing with the hole. He was making a new lance. Yeah, boy!
That's the cerulean pipeline.
Ah, see, all the cool lads hanging around and sneaking about, actually doing stuff. Thancred's rescuing Kryl. Estinian's blowing up the cerulean pipeline.
Impossible! How can one man... Shoot the bastard! Shoot him!
I'm sorry, sir. We're not... Honestly, we don't really use these things as guns very often.
Slain far greater beasts.
So we're not very good shots. We appear to have missed every single one of them. And these guns only have one bullet in them, so it's gonna take us a little while to reload.
You're welcome, boy.
Oh, look at Final Fantasy Batman. Whee!
Notify all units! I want that intruder found! And get the engineers to fix my bloody cannon!
I know the Dragoons are supposed to be like, I don't know, cool, but I just the big jumps that they do just makes them seem so cartoonish in my head. It's just like they just go, I'm here, haha, and away, bye. Just jumps into the horizon, disappears into the sky. Okay, well, Kep died. But good job, Monago. You're still alive. It was honestly, I mean, yeah, like I said, it was between you, Monago, and, sorry, you, Kemp, and Arenvold. It was one of the three of you. Which means that Arenvold could still be a traitor. We could have killed them. We could have walked away. But instead we tried to convince them to lay down their arms. We tried to seek a peaceful resolution. We showed them mercy, and this was their response. Fire and blood. This was their answer. Such crimes cannot go unpunished. They must not. God's as my witness, there will be a reckoning. We shall slaughter all of them. Even the ones that surrender. Even the children. It's like, oh, okay, Alphinaud's going down a dark path now. I feel like I need to intervene. It's just like the Warrior of Light goes, no. Let's see how this plays out. Let's see how this plays out. I feel like that's a good place to stop. What's the next mission? The road home. Actually, no, I'll tell you what, because this is an awkward place to get back to. So let's do this next mission, because I think this will take us back to one of the bases. Forgive me, now's not the time for vows of vengeance. We must remain calm and rational and in control. Yeah, I know, I don't have a problem with that. Do you see how calm and rational I am? My sparrow is perched atop my shoulder. Hello, Sir Charters. I see you've sent your carbuncle over to interrupt the cutscene again. Well, to interrupt our conversation. I'm wise to your games now. The Imperials have demonstrated a willingness to fire on their own. So long as we remain here, we are in danger. We three will see to Commander Kemp's body, find my sister, and return to Aligiri. Alice, I got good news and I got bad news. The good news is Alphinaud's alive. The bad news is, Lise might be in charge of the rebellion now. There, that should suffice for now. Go on and join the others. Tell me you found Alphino. Tell me he is alright. I found Alphino, and he is alright. Oh, thank the 12. I don't know what I would have done. No, saying that, what would Resistance do without Commander Kemp? Sorry, not here, not now. We should return to Alagiri. Keep an eye out for any wounded who need our help on the way. Wouldn't just let me teleport over there. No, I've got to go and heal some more wounded. Hang on, how do I get to... Oh, here we go. I know it's unlikely to happen, but you know, because we've got all of us are sort of working in like different, all sort of siloed off. And also wounded Imperial. I was going to say I was surprised there aren't any Imperials that need healing. It wasn't long ago I was trying to kill you and yours. I've expected you about to slit my throat. To hell's with this. I should be back home in Ilsabad instead of taking fire from my so-called comrades. Well, unfortunately, you're now a POW. So, you're going to become a political prisoner, and we're going to trade you like a triple triad card. So, settle in. The good news is we're quite good to our prisoners. We don't make them do that much hard labor. Just a little. Just a little to keep you spicy. I forgot what I was saying when I got interrupted by the Imperial. Lease... thanks, friend. Bloody tourniquet came loose and I was having trouble getting it back on. I should be fine the rest of the way. There's probably one more in this area. Oh, there we go. Congamato, leave me alone. Go away. Go away. There you go. 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. It's magic. Oh, bless you. Wait, is that you, Jack? I didn't recognize you at first. Feeling a bit dizzy. Must have lost a lot of blood. I can keep going. I can keep it going. What's a few pints of blood between friends? Yeah, we've all been kind of siloed off and doing things in our own pace. So, like I said, Thancred's been sneaking around and trying to get back Kryl. I don't know what your Stoller's doing at the moment. Yugiri's somewhere. Estinians are, attacking the pipeline, and, we're helping Lee set up with the resistance and stuff. It'd be cool if, right near the end, we all, recombined and joined back up. And there's just a cool cutscene with all of us doing, hero poses. It's incredibly cliche, but I want it. Probably isn't worth doing now that I'm this close. But whatever. Yeah, so this is better, because this is easier to get to now. Jack, we have given over Commander Kemp's remains for safekeeping. Later, I have no idea when, rites must be performed. For now, however, we must carry on. We must press forward. We must not give in to despair. Alright, I'll carry on, I'll press forward, I won't give in to despair then. It's like, oh, well, I suppose it's good that you've gotten over it so quickly. I thought maybe you'd be, a little torn up. Just maybe a little bit upset. No, it's fine, it's fine. It's fine that you're not. It's good that you're not. It's good that you're focused. I just thought you might maybe care about Conrad dying a little. So, no, absolutely doesn't affect me at all. Absolutely fine. Oh, good. Great. Excellent. Alright, well, let's stop there. That seems like a good place to stop. We had kind of a big, bombastic battle. Conrad died. Fordola has gone full villain. And, well, we're near the end. Well, I reckon there's still at least 2 streams worth of Stormblood content, looking at the amount of quests left. But we're definitely, yeah, near the end. And then we're onto the post-Stormblood quests. Is that the Legend Returns? Yeah. Which is not that long, actually. I guess probably about as long as Heavenswood was. Yeah, we've got the post-Stormblood quests, and then more importantly, we've then got another Hildebrand quest. I think we're probably still a couple of bumps off that, but still, it's, you know, Hildebrand and Triple Triad. Those are basically the only 2 reasons I'm playing through the main story quest, other than the enjoyment of the main story quest. But it is a distant third from Hildebrand and Triple Triad. Yeah. Cool. Alright, well, next week, same time, same place, same Final Fantasy XIV time, same Final Fantasy XIV place. We'll continue to try and save the Alamegans from the Empire. Tomorrow we're playing Digimon. I don't know how good. So I was a bit worried about Digimon because they haven't really marketed it very well. It wasn't available for pre-order, and you just had to buy it, which I have done. And there were also no review copies given out ahead of time. It also got postponed and delayed quite a bit. In fact, I think it got delayed like 3 times. It was supposed to come out like 3 years ago. So I'm a bit worried that it's going to be bad. I have read a few early like impressions, and they say it's okay. So it'll be interesting to find out. It is Japanese only with English text, so I don't know how well it's going to work as a stream game. But I figure it's also like apparently it's also 40 hours long. That's apparently from Bandai Namco though, so it could be shorter because sometimes they like to over-egg how long games are to make it sound like it's worth the value. Like it's probably 40 hours if you do everything and get every Digimon or something, but the actual story is a bit shorter. But I guess we'll get an idea of. Okay, no, that's. I thought that was you, Stratus, but it's not got your name above it. I just saw a fat chocobo peeking out of the corner of my screen, sat on a chair, and I just thought, oh, hello. Yeah, so I'm playing it tomorrow. And I'll make a decision. It might be a one-off. If we absolutely love it, I might just go until it's over. Yeah, it's very much going to be. We'll test the waters with it tomorrow. I want to try and get Bilzam on because he's my favourite. So that's my goal for tomorrow. Probably not something I can do in like the first 6-7 hours of the game, but fingers crossed. So, do they usually market Digimon games? I feel like I never hear about them. Well, it's been a while since one actually came out because they had Cyber Sleuth, and then they had that like weird spin-off sequel, but also prequel game that was at the same time. Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory. That was 2017. So it's been 5 years since you're near. Well, I know you're near because you ran your carbuncle over a little while ago, so I know you're around somewhere. Yeah, so it's been 5 years since the game came out. Although I think I was reading somewhere that they it got cancelled, and then it got uncancelled. Oh. Oh, there you are. I saw the sparkles coming on the screen. Good to know. Is it Digimon Masters Online? No, that's from 2016. Although it does say it's a free-to-play MMO. I think... Did they... Hang on, let me read... I think they cancelled it and then brought it back. No, this one seems to just be ongoing. What's the Digimon MMO they've been talking about there? Is it Digimon Masters?
So.
Oh no, this is Digimon Super Rumble. I think this does play into what you're saying about them not advertising Digimon games, because I didn't know. I follow gaming news quite closely because it's useful to me it's my main hobby. And I like follow news websites and stuff. Had no idea about any of this until I was Googling something about Digimon Survive, and the Digimon MMO came up. And I was reading about it, and I was like, oh, yeah, okay. I follow Bandai Namco on Twitter. You'd think this would be something that they would mention. I suddenly remembered I played the beta of the MMO years ago. We were talking about how notoriously bad Digimon games tend to be. I remember, it was while I was playing Elden Ring, we were talking about Digimon, and you were saying how you registered and they gave you a load of free Digimon, because the game was about to shut down. I think that might have been the same game. I think it shut down, and then they unshut it down. But I could be wrong. So I think Super Rumble, it's their third Digimon MMO. I didn't know there were 4. I didn't know there had been 4. I kind of had an idea that there was one before. This is their 4th MMO after Digimon RPG and Digimon Masters. It doesn't... Oh no, it's their third... It's their third after Digimon RPG and Digimon Masters. Still, I didn't know that there was that many Digimon MMOs. But okay. But this has got released in Korea in 25th November. So where's the English? Because I read it that he had come out recently. Digimon Super Rumble CBT registrations open worldwide. So this is from a year ago, and that's still the Korean version. What happened to Digimon Super Rumble? Yeah, you can download it. It's not translated to English. I'm sure someone said it had been translated to English. Weirdly, the trailers are in English, but the text in the game is still in Korean. I don't know. It's I don't think they actually shut it down. It just got a re-release with upgraded engine. Oh, maybe that's what it was then. Maybe they just... Yeah. Well, whatever. I've got Digimon Survive to satiate my Digimon hunger. It's not really a hunger. It's more like a peckish. My mild Digimon peckishness. I've got Digimon Survive for that. So we're gonna play Digimon Survive tomorrow. We'll see how it is. From what I've just very briefly Googled, I don't think Super Rumble's in English. I think it's in Korean. But people are just... It's open worldwide, so people are playing it. But there is also... Pokemon Masters does seem to still be going as well. Because it is still on Steam. And they still got posts as of like a few days ago with new Digimon. So... Maybe if Digimon Survive isn't a good stream game, maybe I can play one of the Digimon MMO next Saturday, because I don't have a Saturday game really until... Well, I do still need to play Klonoa and finish off Resident Evil, which I suppose are both Saturday games. So yes, I do. But until I don't have a new Saturday game to play until Saints Row comes out, so... The MMO was really fun last time I played, by the way, if you're ever interested. Story was trash, but gameplay was fun. Well, a trash story is always good to make fun of, but... I don't know. Because it's an MMO, it's always, you're never going to get to an interesting point in one session. That's the problem. It's always going to require a time investment, and I don't know whether I've got the time investment. I think I'd rather go back... If it turns out that Digimon Survive isn't a good stream game, I think I'd rather go back and play like Digimon World 3, which is apparently... It's like a 6 out of 10 game, but is apparently the best Digimon game. Yeah, it's got Billsmon in it, which is all I care about. He's my favourite, as I've mentioned. So, story was really generic, boring. Yeah, you're not selling me on this, I gotta be honest. I think if... Yeah, going back to a retro one might be interesting. Cyber Sleuth's really good, but Cyber Sleuth is also really, really long and has a lot of filler. There's a lot of padding in that game, running around Shinjuku. It's still a really good game, though, if you've got the time for it, but I don't see it working very well as a stream game. But, yeah, anyway. We'll talk more about Digimon tomorrow. So, 12 PM GMT. That's about literally 12 hours from now. Digimon Survive. We're going to be playing it all afternoon. In fact, it's the only game I'm going to play tomorrow, because I'm not streaming anything in the evening. But, yeah, we'll play Digimon Survive all afternoon. See how it is, and we'll make a decision whether I want to keep playing it on stream after we finish it. Because, like I said, it might be a terrible stream game. The fact that it doesn't have English voice acting does go against it, because dubs are useful for streams because you don't have to pay attention to the stream. You can kind of have the stream on while you do something else, which is what I do when I watch people stream. And so if the voice acting isn't in English, it's really hard to kind of not... It's kind of hard. You kind of have to sit and pay attention to the stream, which is fine if you can, but... Yeah. The story wasn't important as FF14, though, much shorter, so it didn't affect the gameplay much. Again, you're still not selling me on it. But we can talk more about the Digimon MMO tomorrow. So, yeah, if I see you then, I will see you then. Otherwise, I will see you when I see you. Yeah, so... Look at the stream. I know. It's a unique concept to imagine paying attention to a stream. But I appreciate as someone who... It is sometimes something you have on in the background so that you don't, to make some noise so you don't feel lonely. Hi. But, just in case anyone was watching the VOD, I guess, at this point. Yeah, let's call it a night there. So, yeah, thanks for watching. I've been Jack Dandy. You've all been, as always, Just Dandy. And I shall see you next time. Tomorrow, 12 hours from now. So, bye. Good night.